All right, we are live. It is the Target Score Vancouver podcast live post-game show. We've been doing this a couple of times this season, maybe late to it this season, Savory. If you ask me, I think we maybe should have started this a little earlier, but it's been going well. So we're gonna not fix what ain't broke. Does that make sense? I guess something like that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Well, the Vancouver Bandits, they lose to the Calgary Surge 93-86 in Calgary and officially lose the season series to the Calgary Surge. Records have been updated on cebl.ca. Vancouver 12-8 and Calgary now 6-14. And a little bit more separation between the Winnipeg Sea Bears and the Vancouver Bandits. Now, it's Chris Wiggins on the sidelines with the CEBL. Andrew Savory, of course, with the headset, courtside, play-by-play with Cheryl John Paul. Now, I'll be honest. I got stuck at CTV. I got stuck at work doing some other stuff, and I didn't really see a ton of the second half of this basketball game. So I'm going to rely on you to help me through this. And Jermaine Cummings is the color commentary man in Calgary with the Calgary Surge. He going to join us in a little bit as well to kind of break down things from the Surge perspective. But let's start with what you saw tonight. I mean, again, the Bandits lose the season series with the Calgary Surge. And for some reason, the Calgary Surge have the Vancouver Bandits number year over year, and I'm not sure what it is. What did you see tonight, first of all?
Yeah, the all-time head-to-head was pretty neck and neck heading into this year, and obviously Calgary won the playoffs against the Bandits last year. But after suffering that first double-digit defeat against Vancouver, very different team. 3 games, credit the head coach, Dave D'Avero comes in, takes over for Perry Huang, and just done a phenomenal job. Obviously 3-1 against Vancouver, but if you look at Calgary in their last 5 as well, 4-1, that lone loss, of course, coming recently. But what we saw tonight, the resiliency of this Calgary Surge team, winning the fourth quarter, 27-19. That's target score right there. They took a lead into target score. Vancouver was able to come back, but Calgary lit it up from deep tonight. The 3-point perimeter defense for Vancouver just wasn't there. 14 of 26, 53% from beyond the arc, courtesy of Calgary. They shot 51% from the field. There's some weird switches. There's people going under screens. There's some missed opportunities, tricky calls on both ends because that's going to happen to either team, but you have to play well enough for a full 40 to win. And ultimately Vancouver didn't do that tonight, and 4 different scores in double figures for the Surge tonight. Miller Moore with 18, Cheney, Joplin, Kamba as well. And Matthew Kamba, just since he's joined the Surge, his hometown team, it just feels like he's a bandit killer at the end of the day. Does a little bit of everything, +8 tonight. Marlon Johnson, the former Bandit, +12 off the bench. And it was scoring by committee. And ultimately, Vancouver couldn't get things going from the 3-point line, just 32% tonight. That's a calling card of Kyle Julius offense. And then from the field as well, really quiet second game for Jarrell Eddy. Chris, just 3 shots from Jarrell Eddy after a huge performance that they really needed him against Montreal. And that's what I was interested in tonight. How do you follow up a big comeback win when you dug a big hole for yourself as you did against Montreal? And tonight, the offense just kind of fell flat. Now their back is going to be up against the wall, and really probably a game that's going to decide the Western Conference this Thursday. Obviously, there's still a little bit more basketball left to go, but if they're able to pull out Thursday against Winnipeg, who sit atop the West after a 54-point performance versus courtesy of Teddy Allen, Thursday is probably going to be the tail of the West, but Winnipeg has the upper hand. And full credit to the Surge tonight. They've had the Bandits' number.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that about Jarrell Eddy. Like, I thought he came as advertised a couple of nights ago in Vancouver, 18 points. I think he was he 4 for 5? Correct me if I'm wrong, from the land beyond. I think he hit his first 3 shots, three three-pointers. So he looked as good as what you could expect from, Jarrell Eddy. And so what was the difference tonight? Like, what did you notice that was different about maybe the way he struggled tonight, or maybe he just didn't get the looks tonight? Like, what was it tonight about Jarrell Eddy?
I wouldn't say it was struggled. Like, he was still 2 for 3. He hit 2 of his 3 shots that he took, both from beyond.
Just didn't get looks.
Land. He didn't get looks. One of his touches, like, he bobbled a few. It was a little bit lackadaisical. And he also had a couple times when he was getting thrown into tough switches. He was having to switch on to a Javonte Brown underneath, and he was just getting bodied a couple times. He is one of the taller bandits on the floor. We know Kyle Julius and Rand's like to play sometimes with those smaller up-tempo lineups. But I think Jarrell was just getting a little bit worked on the inside, having to exert more energy on defense. His minutes were also limited tonight, so it might have been a matchup thing. He only played 17 minutes and change. And just a quiet game overall. Jarkel Joyner got up to 19 points, but a little bit too late. Forced it in target time. Dom Perlin, just 2 points as well. Mulder, 9 points. But one thing that really stands out to me is Lloyd Pandy. After a little bit of a strong performance from the defensive end, we saw that big win over Winnipeg at LEC. Pandy, I think, has struggled a little bit offensively and is trying to find his place. Tonight, you wouldn't expect this, but Pandy, a defensive anchor at 2024 CBL Defensive Player of the Year, minus 14. A team minus 14.
Wow.
Which is not what you expect from Lloyd. And I love Lloyd. I'm a former Carleton Raven.
Yes.
He's a U Sports Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But I think knowing that he doesn't quite have that jump shot proficiency, teams are allowing him to shoot. He's driving into traffic as a result. He's making tough passes. And his lack of offense is limiting his defensive production.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned, fairly quickly off the top of the show, is the next game is going to decide this Western Conference. I mean, we see Winnipeg in a couple of nights from now, and then back at the LEC on Saturday for the Saskatoon Mamba. If Vancouver beats Winnipeg on Thursday night, then we get, identical records, right? 13-8. And then it's going to be, how are the Bandits going to close out the regular season? Because then, that home court advantage is on the line for the CEBL playoffs, right? You want that, you want the home court advantage. You want the national game televised on TSN or CBC or wherever they air the playoffs this year. You want the LEC. The Bandits are, in my opinion, a much different team at the LEC. So I know. I don't know who Winnipeg has after Vancouver on Thursday night. I'm doing a quick scroll through the top of the CEBL website. They got they have Brampton at Canada Life Center on Saturday, and then they have, who do they have? They have Ottawa, which is going to be a gimme for. Well, I shouldn't say that. Ottawa just beat Scarborough, so I shouldn't say that. But 2 games at Canada Life Center, and then they come back to us, LEC on national television August 2nd. So that game right there. The last game for the Vancouver Bandits at home against the Winnipeg Sea Bears on national television, that could be the game where we decide who's going to be the first seed, the second seed, right? That might be that last game. And so, we're going to see what happens. But so Jarkel Joyner, not the best night from him. I would agree. Tyrese Samuel maybe as well, not the best night. From him, I'm just looking at box score because I didn't see really the end of this game. So am I wrong to say it wasn't Tyrese's night tonight either?
I think Tyrese worked for everything he had tonight. I think the Javonte Brown matchup has been really tough for him. But Tyrese was sub 50% from the field, but then he worked for it and actually ended up finishing 7 of 14, 6 offensive boards, which shows you that he was hustling, 3 assists as well. He was responsible, only 3 personal fouls. But it wasn't just Javonte Brown. It was also Calum Swanton-Roger as well, who was putting in some good minutes. Calgary's length and their size have just really caused Vancouver problems. Sean Miller-Moore was able to hit the 3 tonight. Cheney was 4 of 7 from deep. Combo was 3 of 5. Calgary's a physical team. They have a bunch of guys at that swingman position. The Combas, the Miller-Moores, those kind of 6'5", 6'6" guys. They can hit the 3. They can defend. They can run. And then they have the bigs as well. But then they have the shifty guards and Armani Cheney. This group, had they been playing this brand of basketball at the start of the season, we'd be talking about a logjam of a Western Conference race, more so than it already is. It's obviously not what the East is. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Coach Dave D'Avero. I don't want to speak for management over with the Surge. But if you're looking at the second half of the season as an audition for a coaching job, you'd say, hey, you've done a pretty good job.
100%. It's pretty obvious to say that Dave DeVero has flipped the script for the Calgary Surge. Producer Joey Slattery in the comments saying Winnipeg is 8-1 at Canada Life Center and only lost to Calgary, and that was on national television. Calgary's had a couple of big wins on national television. They're the Sea Bears are 5-6 on the road. And I know we also have a couple of other Sea Bear fans here in the comments as well. Silver Tip Trilla saying Bandits, shell of a team they were almost a month ago, and that incident in Winnipeg dismantled this entire organization. I mean, I don't know. Like, if you want to go that deep, sure. But like, I really think the adjustment of Kyle Julius, and yes, from that Winnipeg incident, that's why Kyle Julius, had that 3-game suspension. Did we foresee a Kyle Julius departure for a better opportunity in China? Probably not. So, I mean, I don't know if it dismantled the entire organization this season, but it certainly, it certainly put a wrinkle in what looked like a pretty solid, another solid season for the Vancouver Bandits. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be the last few games coming down the stretch here, as we've said all season. I mean, it's like the CFL you can't count anyone out until Labor Day. Like, Labor Day is when you really start to consider the CFL standings. But I guess, looking forward to what's to come. I think fans were maybe speculating that Tajay Moore could be back. We all saw Tajay Moore post a story on his Instagram saying he's going to be back in Vancouver on Wednesday, and then today we see that he signs with Kyle Julius's CBA team. Like, how cool is that How cool is that reunion there?
I think Tajay knew what he was doing when he posted that story, to be honest. I'm sure he obviously has a few friends from his time in Bandits lands a couple of years ago when he won CEBL MVP, but I think he enjoyed sparking a little bit of rumors and turning that mill just a little bit. But Tajay, great year overseas with Italy, and I'm not surprised. Kyle also won Coach of the Year that year and took Tajay to the finals, and obviously they lose on a game-winning field goal from
Tajay, the MVP that year too.
Exactly. So he's a defensive anchor. He's up-tempo. And the CBA, for those who don't follow the Chinese Basketball Association, it's extremely high scoring. It's not uncommon to see offensive production, 140 points a game. And I think if you're talking about someone who can get up and down the floor really quick, Tajay does exactly that for you. But Vancouver would have loved that boost at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting talking about what the roster is going to look like as we get close to the playoffs. We're basically crossing over that Rubicon where, for those who don't know, you have to be active roster for the last 5 games of the season, and you actually have to dress for 3 of them. So for those such as Matt Benobi here, who's saying Van needs Mitchie, for those who are on Mitch Creek watch, Mitch is dressed in 2 games, so he needs to dress in 1 more in order to be eligible for the postseason. So
well, it's funny when I saw that Tajay Moore story, where he said he was coming to Vancouver, I instantly went to the schedule and started counting how many games were left. And because he said he was coming on Wednesday, there just wasn't enough games for him to qualify for the playoffs. I really don't think he's going to suit up. I mean, I would love to see it. I really would. And you just don't really know if Mitch Krieg is going to be back either. And sorry, this next comment here from Tyler Penner, I know he's often a viewer and or contributor with the Target Score Vancouver show. But I'm going back to it, Savory, because I was in the car on the way home from CTV talking to you.
And I was giving you live updates.
You were giving me live updates for this exact moment where you were like, all right, another Tyrese Samuel and 1, they're up 7. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. And then what felt like 45 seconds later, you were like, Calgary's going up 3 or up 2 in going into target score time. So right on cue, here is Jermaine. He jumped into the studio just ready for us as we were talking about the way that game ended. Forgive me, Jermaine. Let me see if I can figure out this. Here we go. Are you there? One second.
Loaded.
Oh, not the best signal, Jermaine. I might have to get you to jump back in and out.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay. We'll see what happens with Jermaine. But Jermaine is coming on, and so again, he's the color commentary for the Calgary Surge. Let's see if we can get him on one more time. There he is.
Hey.
There he is.
Can
What's
you hear
happening?
me now?
I got you now, my man. I got you now.
Live from Winsport. I can see it.
Yeah, exactly. It's Winsport, and if you didn't know, the terrible reception lets you know that I'm in Winsport.
All right, fair enough.
You know.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I haven't stepped foot in Winsport myself, but I'll remember to maybe try to find some login Wi-Fi credentials.
Bring a hotspot. Bring a hotspot or else.
All right. We were just talking about Vancouver leading by 7 with about 6 minutes to go prior to target score time. And then Cheney followed that up with 3 dimes, a 3 himself. Calgary goes up 4 going into target score time. But my first question to you is, how the hell does Calgary have Vancouver's number each and every year?
It's funny you say that because we just got finished with the pressure with Rands and Coach Rempong, and he said the exact same thing. He's like, I'm sick of taking L's to Calgary. And you know what? I wish I had a straight up answer for you. I don't. I have no idea how it happens every single time. He probably put it best saying that there's just certain teams that have other teams' numbers. So regardless of who's playing or what the record is or any of that, they just can't get it done. It's kind of like Saskatoon and Calgary. Regardless, they just can't beat them. So tonight was a crazy, crazy game.
Oh, he's back. He's back. I thought we lost him for a sec. Go ahead, Savory.
No, I was just I was putting up the all-time stats to your point between these two squads, Jermaine, and full credit, really led them back into this one. But I'm just trying to see the all-time here between the Surge and the Bandits. I'd be really interested to see the numbers, but I think it gets even worse when it's at WinSport. Obviously, Bandits, I think, have picked up a couple at LEC, but at WinSport, is it the atmosphere? Is it the fan base? You guys can bring that comeback. What did it take tonight to get over the hump?
Oh, no. Oh, dear. More static. No, Jermaine. We got to dump him. Until he comes back on. It is what it is. These old school arenas with the brick locker room, like with the heavy concrete hallway locker rooms, they just swallow up your. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, back to. It's like Edmonton. Like Vancouver kind of has Edmonton's number. Each and every year it feels like, Edmonton might squeeze out one win in Vancouver or one win against Vancouver, but the majority of the games are won by Vancouver. But he's right. Like some teams just have other teams' number, and I don't know what it is. It's funny. Like he mentions, Coach Rands being kind of ticked off that I'm sick of these L's to Calgary. You and I were talking to Rands after the game the other night, and he was like, man, there are coaches on our coaching staff that have never won a game against Calgary, that have been here for years and have never won a game against Calgary.
It's gotten worse the past 2 years. 0-3 last year, 1-3 this year. So that's a combined 1-6 over the past 2 years, which you don't need math to tell you it's a bad percentage. And you feel for Coach Lou. Obviously, Matt Bart's on that coaching staff as well. And it's tough. And right now, if Calgary was heading into the playoffs, I'd be scared. I would not want to face Calgary in an opening round matchup.
No way. I jumped on the Winnipeg post-game show in the parking lot from LEC because our games kind of wrapped up like right after each other, and they were live in Winnipeg, and I jumped on. I said the same thing. I'm like, Vancouver does not want to see Calgary in the playoffs. They just don't. If you're telling me, aside from like hand-picking Saskatoon, I think I'd be taking Edmonton, right? Like, you do not want to see Calgary. Maybe at LEC, but definitely not at WinSport. And it's not going to happen at WinSport. I'm just saying, you want Edmonton as the Vancouver Bandits, right? Like you just do.
You definitely do. And I feel like even their games against the Mamba as well, sometimes it's gotten a little bit tricky. They've had to grind it out. I feel with Vancouver right now, we were saying on the phone, it's a little bit Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know who you're going to get. And somehow, when you look back at my wedding night when I was following my phone, I wish I'd watched the game back afterwards. But this Vancouver team was able to defeat Winnipeg at home on June 27th. Yeah. Then they lost at Winnipeg, the toughest place record-wise to play in the CBL, by 30 points when Jalen House was still around. So now you have two very different teams, very different coaches now as well. Obviously, Rands in the Kyle system. I honestly don't know what to expect this Thursday from the Bandits. They're up and down like a yo-yo. They're figuring things out. Obviously, Karnik, we haven't even talked about, just his second game this year. Karnik was okay tonight, serviceable minutes, but it's going to be tough.
This guy goes to get some 5G service, eh? You're just out of the bowels.
That's right. I'm outside now.
There you go.
Hopefully,
there we go.
Hopefully you can hear me. You might not be able to see me very well. The lighting's not great, but
no,
hopefully
good.
you can at least hear me.
No, we got you. We got you. Savory, I'll go back to you because I know you had a great question for Jermaine lined up.
Yeah, Jermaine, put it in a nutshell. Dave DiVero comes in, new head coach. You guys are 4-1 in your last 5. Huge comeback in the 4th. What's the difference between this team versus the first half, and what's the fan base response been like to this late season run?
Well, despite literally just about everyone on the team being different, there was only one person basically on the team that was here from the first day, which is crazy. Dave DeVero just brings a different energy, man. As I'm sure you guys know Dave really well. He's just kind of that no nonsense kind of guy. He'll give it to you straight. And he's been part of the staff since the off season. But as you guys know, he was away at U18, so he wasn't around for the first 6-7 games. I think maybe even longer than that. But once he came back and got named interim coach, man, he started holding guys accountable. Guys like Ruggsy, who have been here since the beginning, are listening to Dave, and Dave is giving you constructive criticism all day long, practice long. Like, he'll give it to you. And it's tough for Perry, man, because he didn't necessarily have the greatest chance. Like, you had a roster with so much flux in the beginning of the year. He's a first-time coach. He's got a first-time assistant as well, brand new to the FIBA rules. So Perry's a good dude. I like him, but Dave is just more experienced when it comes to dealing with these players in this league, as you guys know it really well, man. And they just took to him. They just took to him. He runs practices completely different. It's a tight ship, and it's worked out for the better.
Man, going back to that moment I was talking to you about prior to asking you why Calgary has Vancouver's number. I know they were up. Bandits were up 7, kind of late in the 4th towards target score time. Then they go up. Calgary goes up 4 heading into target score time. Was that sort of that moment? Was that sort of the game right there? Like, could you just feel Calgary kind of taking over at that point? And at that point, it was curtains.
Yeah, tonight, because historically, it hasn't necessarily been that way for the Surge, man. Late in games, especially come target time, they can kind of change. But tonight definitely felt different, especially going up against Vancouver, man. Like, Vancouver always gets the Surge's best shot, as you guys know very well. Like, regardless of what happened before, like, Calgary's going to bring it when Vancouver comes to town, for sure. And, like, our fans in here get wild. They'll start talking, and it's funny. It's funny to watch, man, because it's a rivalry that's been kind of been brewing over some seasons. And even though, like, main culprit, Big Dog Julius wasn't here, who we missed, by the way. Tell him to come out here, man. I miss Kyle. Tell him to come back out to win sport. I haven't seen him in a while. But, yeah, man, it's always fun when the Bandits come through. And, for obvious reasons for Calgary, it works out to their favor. But got to tip your hat to the Bandits every time, man. They never make it easy. That's for sure.
And Jermaine, just to even take a look at the standings, Joey threw it up. Mamba defeating the Stingers tonight by 2, right. 96-94. So as we look at the standings watch, like, geez, things are just really heating up. Surge 6-14, Stingers in that 4th spot, now 8-12. Mamba just ahead of them at 9-10 with a game in hand. So you're right on Edmonton's heels. What does the final stretch with the squad look like?
Andrew, it's crazy, man. Like 3 weeks ago, we did not think we'd be in this position to actually potentially get into the postseason and to have it like literally in your hands as well. Like, you got to go out and beat Edmonton 2 times in a row in a home and home. It's crazy. And it just shows, I was just talking to Armani before, and it just shows their dedication. It just shows their dedication, man, because they could have folded weeks ago. Like, you go 0-10 in a season that's already as short as it is, man. You can just come here, clock in, get your stats up, get your highlight tape, and just go home. But, like, these guys were actually dedicated to winning. So guys like Armani coming in, Ruggsy starting to take a new role as well. Guys just being humble, completely changing what they've done to this point to get to this position, man. It's next level. And granted, they're not there yet, but to even be in this position, this close to making it happen after starting 0-10, unprecedented. It's bananas.
I can't wait.
I need to quickly. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm just so
you're
eager
good.
to ask
You're
this
good.
one.
You're
I'm
good.
going to jump on it. He was a bandit killer before with the Stingers, but I have to know, after Sean Miller-Moore, is Matthew Kamba kind of Mr. Calgary after Sean Miller-Moore? He's a hometown kid, done big things overseas, but he is the 2nd most important member in Surge history, potentially.
Brother, that is a fact. And Kamba, being a local kid, his family is in the crowd, hooting and hollering every game. We got Ben on the team, which is his younger brother, and, like, he comes from a family of Calgary hoopers. So, like, some, like, collegiate level guys. And he's got the kids all from his alma mater coming through, packing the place. Kamba is like royalty. The Kamba family just hoops. Yeah. So to see him, especially coming after an MCL last year, which can completely change the trajectory of your career. To bounce back and to get back to his former self and knocking down triples like he is, man, it's honest. It's storybook. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I was going to ask you this, and you know, if you don't feel comfortable answering it, you don't have to do that. But I think it's the elephant in the room with this team, with the Calgary Surge. And there's a couple comments about Evan Gilliard in the stream here as well. I wonder if it was like a Jalen House situation where, you know, he just didn't really fit the culture. Although Gilliard was there last year too, right? And I just wonder if it's a Dave DeViro, you know, Evan Gilliard maybe headbutting thing. Like, if you could shed some light on what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the full inside scoop, but I can say I love EG. Everyone here loves EG.
Okay.
He's the guy. Yeah, like, we love him. Crowd loves him. I don't know if what he was doing this season worked for what DeViro wanted to get going, you know, per se. Because like you said, he's been part of the winning squads before. He was here last year doing his thing, and he's won a G League as well. Like, he's a winner. He knows what to do. But I just don't necessarily know if he was fitting into what Dave DeViro was trying to build. And, like, to make the decision to let him go, man, that's not easy. Like, he's got the franchise leading scoring for a single game. He's, like I said, he's, like, number one with the fans. Kids love him all around the city. So to actually make that decision, it couldn't have been easy. It couldn't have been easy.
No.
So,
you know, despite the whole, like, you know, whatever he did on the floor in Vancouver.
We love that.
Yeah.
We love that.
I mean, he's always been good to me on the floor to talk to as a sideline guy. So, I mean, I have nothing bad to say about him, although he's a killer and he killed us in the playoffs last year. Oh, we're going to get some highlights. Look at Joey. Producer Joey giving us some highlights here behind the scenes.
Shout out
Jermaine,
Flat. What up, Joey?
Jermaine, we'll get you out of here. We'll get you out of here quickly here. I know it's probably warm as it is here in Vancouver. It's like felt like 38 degrees, 30 plus.
30
I know.
plus.
We'll let you get back into the air conditioning. We appreciate you joining us. And may the West be a complete shit show coming home.
It wouldn't be the Western Conference if it wasn't, baby. It's awesome. Man, huge fans of you both, Chris, Andrew, Joey. Love you all, man. Love what you're doing. And an honor you guys have me on today. It's crazy.
Appreciate it, man.
Great
Congrats on the win tonight.
For sure. All right, boys.
All right,
we'll talk.
Take care. All right.
Yep.
There he goes. There is Jermaine Cummings. He is the color commentator in Calgary for the Surge. That guy just has a bunch of energy and you know, of course, we had to get through some Wi-Fi issues, but we did it. And nice to have him join us as we take a look at some of the highlights here on YouTube and on Instagram. And thanks to those joining us and commenting. Lots of action in the comments over these post-game shows. But yeah, looking ahead, you know, with the Saskatoon Mamba win tonight, they leapfrog Edmonton, and we can't say it enough. This Western Conference is crazy. And yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if we see some new faces come into the Bandits organization for a couple of games. Maybe they help, you know, this team get that home playoff victory. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to think about the game in Winnipeg on Thursday.
There's just so much to dive into. And even with that Mamba game, like, again, I don't know who I feel more uncomfortable facing, the Mamba or the Surge. It's really tough to say. And even Edmonton, like I said, Vancouver, you never know what you're going to get. I just want to say tonight, the Mamba, credit to them. Chris, if I told you the Mamba won this game with Tavian Dunn-Martin only getting 5 points, I don't know if you would have believed me, but Jameer Chaplin popped off for 31. But with Vancouver, I mean, they're going to have their hands full. We've talked about Teddy Allen and those CBL records setting 54 points, but Xavier Moon is also a double-double threat with the assists and the point guard ability. Joey, I was watching you go live and interview X last week, and he was just getting ready to play after that loss versus Calgary. And he said straight up, I'm going to come in and be the point guard of this team. I'm going to take some scoring load away from Teddy. He didn't actually take away the scoring load. He helped Teddy score more. Yeah. So it's pretty tough to guard those two. And you have some other complementary pieces as well, the Hildebrandt, et cetera, as you go through. So Vancouver, this is probably the most important character bounce back game of the season. You barely scraped by Montreal. Shouldn't have been that close. Montreal got absolutely pumped the next game, of course, against Winnipeg. And now you drop one against Calgary. That one's a moral defeat. They owned you this year, despite having a sub 500 record, obviously 2 different seasons for them. And now against Winnipeg, hostile environment, aided one, unceremonious exit last time that led to your coach getting suspended. The storylines abound, and it's a popcorn game. Like, don't go to Cineplex, throw in a pizza at home, put it in the oven, put it on the CBL, tune in, and see who's going to win the Western Conference. Because if that game doesn't decide it, then August 2nd that the LEC certainly will.
Yeah, so from what I'm understanding, we might get one playoff game with our usual broadcast crew, the live stream crew. From what I understand, it might be one conference semi from each conference, nationally televised, and the other one will be the local web stream, live stream, which will be great. I mean, it depends on what happens. Like, we either get a nationally televised game or the crew stays together and we get to do our thing one more time. So, it's kind of a win-win. I know, like, selfishly, we'd all like one more game together. So we'll see what happens. Some comments here. Again, we'll read a few. Back to Silver Tip Trilla. No Shot Creek comes back. He was Julius's guy. I wouldn't say that. I mean, like, his partner lives in Vancouver. I know he spent some time, in the land down under with the national team and spending time with family. But I know he's also Rands' guy too. Let's be honest. He's this organization's guy. And as we see the target score winner there from Calgary, he is this organization's guy. We're not just going to say he's Julius's guy. He's top to bottom, this organization. He's Dylan Coular's guy, right? So I wouldn't be shocked if all of a sudden Mitch Creek shows back up. Although on the other hand, I will also say I'll believe it when I see him on the LEC floor. That's just my 2 cents. But I wouldn't say there's no shot. I think there's a little bit of a shot still, right?
I would agree. And Mitch is someone who plays and holds his cards close to his chest for sure. He'll let on a little bit, but I think ultimately he's worn the C for a reason. He's led by example, and Mitch does not need a lot of games to get going. You think about that 2024 run when they go straight to the CBL finals. He was a late season acquisition. If Mitch comes in, all he needs to do is suit up for one. He's been on the court for two. He needs to suit up for one. And I don't want to say it, but it very well may come down until August 2nd for Mitch to return to Vancouver. We're going to have to wait and see, because he didn't travel, mind you. Last time he was here, he decided to skip that game against Winnipeg, played both of the home games. So if Mitch is going to come back, if anything, I would imagine it would be for a home game. So we'll have to wait and see. It may come down until the very end of the season.
Yeah, never know. I mean, again, I can see it happening, and I can also not see it happening. So,
Agreed.
That's the beauty of the CBL, right? You just get, like, you guys come and go at any point in the season. And we all got excited when we saw the Tajay Moore story. We thought maybe we'd see him for a couple of games, and wouldn't that be incredible? But just don't know. I'm taking a look at the box score again here. John Knight didn't play. Like, am I missing something? Thought he was okay the last couple of games, to be honest. Like, is he injured? I don't remember him going down or like tweaking anything. Maybe just a coaching decision. Not sure there.
Yeah, his minutes, I think, were a little bit more limited against Montreal. So I don't know if that was just a lineup decision.
Yeah.
Mulder got a little bit more run. But again, I think I pointed it out before. Tevin Brown was really off and on tonight. Like I said to you on the phone, missed another dunk, which was unfortunate. A couple gimmies. I'll say this ball game was there for the taking from Vancouver. You're up 7 midway through a fourth quarter. You should be able to find a way to close it out, but they let it slip away, but they didn't let it slip away. Calgary took it. Armani Chaney came in and took it, and credit to them for taking Chaney away from the Sea Bears after he was dropped, because he's been a huge acquisition and a reason for this turnaround. But you just can't allow a team to shoot above 50% from the field and the 3-point line. And again, for Vancouver, chance to rebound. I think Tyrese played strong tonight. They're going to have to play big again. It's going to be a full team effort. They're going to have to figure out what worked against Winnipeg last time they played on June 27th. They're going to have to channel it in front of 8,000 to 10,000 fans this Thursday, which is never easy to do when you're playing at Canada Life.
No. Also, Jarkel Joyner not in the starting lineup tonight. Notice the starting lineup looked a little bit different too. So Shamar, for those who didn't see, it was Shamar, Tyrese, Jarrell Eddy, Tevin Brown, and James Karnick. So no Jarkel Joyner. Like, I know Shamar, had a great game last weekend, and of course hit that ridiculous game-winning shot. By the way, I've never heard LEC like that before, and I said this to many different people. I said this on the Winnipeg post-game show. That was one of, if not the best finish, not game, finish, because the game was awful. Finish at target score finish at LEC that I have ever been a part of or in that building for. And I don't know if you agree. It's got to be up there for you. Yes, and Shamar, of course, with the mid-range game winner. But Jarkel Joyner not in the starting lineup kind of surprises me.
Yeah, I mean, talking to people in the organization, they say ultimately Jarkel was always meant to kind of be that six-man role. They didn't like him to be that alpha kind of guard who was going to come in and be keyed on right out of the starting lineup. I think Shamar being more of a pass-first point guard is why they were giving him a little bit of that run. But Shamar, minus 12 tonight. He gave up a lot of size and some mismatches. And the Bandits, who are known for liking to switch in their screens, if Shamar's switching, he's switching onto a 7-footer in Javonte Brown.
Yeah.
And then you're dragging the help over from the other block because the moment Brown catches, he's going to go over Shamar. So now Parolin or Karnik or Tyrese have to come over. Then there's a kick. Then you're in the blender. And then Calgary's shooting above 50%. So it's tough. They're playing matchups at the end of the day. And that's why I think Vancouver is so off and on, is their ability to switch and make those decisions requires full buy-in, the foot speed, etc. Their defense just really has to lock in because come playoff time, they could be upset. I think this team is truly at risk of being upset, depending on who they end up facing, whether they're the one, whether they're the two. We'll have to wait and see. But I will say for the fans, when this team is on, I do think they can also beat anyone. I even think they could beat a Scarborough should they get another shot. They were close at LEC, and they're a long way from getting towards that final game. But I think we're going to talk about a one-game punch-out. I think Vancouver can take anyone out in the West if it comes down to one game. It's just what version of this team are you going to get?
Well, I said it to you in the vehicle on the way home, too. Like, late last week, I checked the team stats. Vancouver led the league in points for and also led the league in points against. Like, to me, that's crazy. Like, you lead the league in scoring, but you also lead the league in giving up the most points as well. Now, things have changed a little bit since last Thursday or last Friday when I checked that. Now Vancouver is second in points scored and third in points against. So it's a little bit better. But, I mean, I thought that was a pretty wild statistic. Getting to this comment here, Tyler Penner, never heard a positive like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm just talking target score time. Like, I'm literally just talking like how were they down 8 maybe going into target score time? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe it was 8 or maybe it was 10. 8. I'd have to double check. I know the lead was as large as 22.
Yeah,
it was 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 8. I think it was 8. Yeah.
I'll say this, speaking.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, just even to take a fragment of that target, they're going to need the Jarrell Eddy that they got last weekend against Winnipeg.
For sure.
So whatever reason he wasn't firing tonight, was he getting into too many switches? Was he having to exude too much energy on defense? They're going to need 10 to 15 plus from 4 to 5 different players.
Down 10. And I trust this stats guru.
I felt like it was double digits.
All right,
I remember
down 10.
Then they called the quick foul and it was 10.
Well, Tyler, it makes my argument even more valid, right? Like it was just the drama of the missed free throw, and then like the second Shamar was like the second he crossed half, I was like, it's over. Like, you just after that missed free throw, you just knew they were going to end it, and boy, that was loud in that arena when they ended that on country night and all that. Like, somebody threw, I think I saw a couple of cowboy hats get tossed onto the LEC floor. Couple more comments I'd like to get to, just because I know you're an encyclopedia with this league, and I know you'll help me get through this. I think I can answer this one myself. Yes, players have to play 5 games to qualify for the playoffs. So yes, Xavier Moon has to play all 5 games that have remained on the schedule for the Winnipeg Sea Bears. But here's another one. Mitch Creek has only played 2 games. Andrew, you might know this. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't believe he was an active roster member for that game in Winnipeg. And if he was an active roster member, I don't know if it counts or not off the top of my head as a, like, I think you have to play. Tyler will probably know this. Tyler, help us out in the comments.
I'd have to
right?
double check because I forget the terminology between like you have your 14 man and then your 10 man or your 12. I forget what it is because I keep getting the NBA ones mixed in my head.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
difference is I believe you have to be on the active for 5 and then you actually have to touch the court and register at the second for 3. So if you're active for 5, you're there, but you actually get a second of playing time for 3. That's the distinction.
Right. Just the 1 second of playing time. And imagine if the 1 second of playing time isn't enough for Mitch Creek to qualify for the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen, but all right. Well, we went longer than we thought we were going to go, and I think
playoff season.
Playoff season. That's right. I think it maybe a little bit was Jermaine and some of the struggles of getting him on here, but it was nice to get a perspective from in Winsport, right? I wanted somebody from in Winsport, just a different feel. And so, Bandits fall 93-86 to the Calgary Surge. Not active in Winnipeg. He was on the reserve roster. He checked back the list he has. God love you, Tyler. Good man. Appreciate it. Bandits lose 93-86 to the Calgary Surge. Things are getting real spicy in the Western Conference. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up? Want to go anywhere with something? Questions, concerns, comments?
I just think on either end of the conference, nothing's for certain except for the fact that Scarborough is going to stay in first place in the East. But I think in the East, between Brampton, Ottawa, Niagara, Montreal, we haven't seen things stop shifting yet. I think the same could be said for the West. I think how things look a week from now is going to be drastically different. So I can't wait to record next week's episode.
Love it. Love it. All right. So we got Winnipeg on Thursday. Maybe we should I think we should either jump on like a crossover episode with Joey on Thursday evening, or maybe do another post-game show. Like, what do you think? We got to do something. It's Winnipeg. He's our producer, for goodness sakes. He's the creator of this nonsense we do.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. We got to do a post-game reaction and probably a full arena as well, live look.
Yes, yeah. We'll do something like that. All right, we'll sort that out with Joey. So yeah, Vancouver on the road in Winnipeg on Thursday night, and then back to LEC against Saskatoon. And then where do they go after that? Are we? We only have like 5. They only have like 5 games left, right?
Yeah, it's coming down to the wire. I mean, they only have 4 games left total, so they're going to have to go out to Verdun Auditorium all the way east as far as you can go in the CBL, and then back to LEC for one more against Winnipeg.
Wow, just the one. Yeah, just the one to Montreal. All right, yeah, Joey, you heard it here first in the comments. A crossover post-game live. This live crossover stuff just jacks Joey Slattery right up. Just gets him going. So we'll figure something out for Target Score Vancouver / Winnipeg live on Thursday night. Thank you, my friend, as always, for jumping on. Thank you in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me see if I can get that little button up here.
And appreciate the fans tonight. Lots of activity. Love the chat.
There we go. Yeah, definitely love the activity. Yeah, like, subscribe, follow along. We'll be back on Thursday post game. Are you available? You can tell me yes or no.
I think I should be. It depends on the timing. I got to check the time change.
Okay. All right. We'll figure it out. And we'll update the masses on our Instagram page. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Bandits lose to the Calgary Surge 93-86. We'll be back whether it's Thursday or Saturday. We'll be back sometime soon. Take care. Peace.